Hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Andy. In this lesson, I was going to touch upon CAGED system, the CAGED, C-A-G-E-D. If you don't know, CAGED is referring to the 5 chord shapes, C, A, G, E, and D. And CAGED is taking those 5 shapes, those 5 chord shapes, and being able to move them around the fretboard to find any chord we want. If you just start playing and you're kind of in the stage of just playing some open chords and strumming a few songs, the CAGED system probably isn't totally relevant at this point. It's quite an advanced concept of how to move around the fretboard completely freely. And the basic premise is that if you know your open chords, you know C major, spells out CAGED, C, A, G, E, and D. And it's using those open chord shapes, turning them into bar chords so you can move around freely. So a C chord has an open G string normally, and we can hit the open E string on top. We don't really hit the low E string down here. So to move that chord shape, we need to remove those open strings. So if we wanted to play a D chord using that shape, D is here. Why do we need to use the C chord to make a D shape, you might ask? It might depend on the melody note, because this D shape, to keep it sounding major, the third is voiced on top. But we might want to put the root note on top, and if we have the root note here, it doesn't sound actually major because we've removed the thing that makes it major. The third is here. So we're playing the C type of chord shape, but playing a D chord, it still sounds like a proper major chord, but now we're going up to our root note here, and we can still hit this third on top, but we might want to stop on that root note. We have our third here. So that C chord can be voiced, if we work through the CAGED system, can be voiced with our C chord open. So the next chord in the CAGED system is A, so it's like a jigsaw puzzle. This is A, but to make that chord a C, we still use the root note that is our C chord here, and then we go to our A type of chord shape, but as a C chord barred at the 3rd fret, B's at the 5th fret. So they're both C, but we've got the notes in different orders. C, E, G, C, E becomes C, G, C, E, G. If we keep working up, this part of the chord that we had 3 fingers on here, we now bar, and it becomes part of our G chord shape, but it's now the C chord, but our root note is now on the E string down here. That's our C, using the G chord shape, and we're barring what was the A chord shape down here. So it's a horrible chord shape. I've never seen anyone really use it. It's pretty weird and pretty uncomfortable and not very nice and not very pleasant. If you really want to play that, stick a capo on, make it easy. Just play the G chord shape with a capo. I don't think that's particularly useful. The root note is this one, which becomes the E chord shape, and that's our C using the E chord shape. And then we move to the D type of chord shape. So that spells out CAGED. C, A, G, E, D. So all of those are a C chord, but the different forms of the 5 chord types. I would suggest, if you're just starting out, if you've got a few chords under your fingers, the most useful purpose of CAGED is forget CAGED. Just learn some bar chords, just learn some songs, learn some solos, learn the pentatonic scale, learn the major scale, focusing on your root notes on the E string and the A string, and that's going to get you much further than trying to confuse yourself with all these different chord shapes up and down the fretboard, but not really knowing any songs or how to put them together. So I would suggest focus on your chords based around the E, so the F chord, F sharp, G, working up the fretboard, and the same on the A chord. So there you've got a B flat at the 1st fret, B at the 2nd fret, C at the 3rd fret, D flat, D, and so on. By learning those shapes, you're going to learn the notes on the E and the A string. So E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. On the A string, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D. Learn the notes. learn the chord shapes that relate to those notes. So if you want to find a B flat quickly, we can use this form down here or this one down here. The majority of guitarists who want to learn, a few good songs, a few maybe some Dave Gilmour solos or Slash solos or whatever it is, for most guitarists, the E chord shape is the most useful one because we base our bar chords mostly on that shape because it gives us the most amount of strings. And then the second most useful one is the A form because we've got 5 strings. And if you do need other chords, it might just be that you need to focus on learning the triads, not so much for learning these big CAGED systems, because you can play an F here as a bar chord. You can also play the triad here, the triad here, the triad here. You can work up the strings. You could play a triad here, triad here, triad here to the octave on the top 3 strings. And for me, the basic principle of this is that it's brilliant if you want to kind of completely map out the fretboard and have complete freedom. If you're improvising, whether it's blues stuff, jazz stuff, it gives you freedom around the fretboard because you can play this C chord and play around that form down here. If you move into a bar chord, you can still play that same shape. If we move, and then that comes into that shape. Into that shape. Then we're into this D shape up here. And back to our beginning. So we've mapped out the whole fretboard using those 5 shapes. If you want a more in-depth lesson on it, let me know and I'll put some sheets together and make it a more in-depth lesson. But I personally think you only need 2 shapes really to get going. You need the E shape, which gives you the F chord going up the fretboard, and the A shape going up from B flat. And focus on learning those notes on those 2 strings and those chords on those 2 strings, and that's going to get you through kind of 90% of things for the first 25 years of playing probably. So anyway, I hope you got something from the lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Comments, was it relevant? Is it useful? Do you want more, or so just more songs? Or what do you want? Let me know.